Yes.
Okay, so because this year I'm kind of like I call myself a veteran in this kind of program, so I will skip the part where to introduce Moser. I mean, not a proper slide, but we're a firm founded back in 1981, and we entered Singapore market. We launched our Singapore office back in the 1990s. So we have a few decades running in Singapore, quite surviving and thriving as well. So I'm personally handling and managing and co-founded the both of the group for the design integration simulation technology, which is mainly for the frontline pitching, and also covers like topics like BIMs and VDC, like virtual design construction, all these kind of things during the earlier stage of my career. So well, 2 years ago that I was being assigned to this task to start this so-called Gaia team, our generative AI agency team. Both are global teams, so we serve globally. We see different kind of landscaping everywhere. We have about 40 plus franchises over the world, and mainly dealing with workplace interiors. And yes, we did Dyson in a St. James Power Station as well. So personally, I'm also a Building Smart China's advisor, so someone who is actually curating things like IFC schemas and BSCD dictionaries. I also have tons of like credentials and licenses around like Lead and Well, BC Green Mark, resets, also a well faculty. So today we're gonna discuss about this idea of it's not idea anymore, but it's a live POCs right here. So we have explored a lot of things for any of these potential solution providers before. So we are looking at AI-driven BIM classification and metadata structuring tool for SketchUp because we are mainly using SketchUp. Without further ado, I've roughly mapped out like how we actually do each iteration of the design works. If let's say we're actually dealing with BIM, right? So as you can see on the top is basically the architects and designers mostly. The second line is the so-called the BIM team, whatever they're doing it. And the third line in the middle is all the MEPF engineers, and then followed by the structure engineers, civil engineers, and then the ESG, I mean the environmental sustainability and wellness people, right? So as you can see that there are certain dependencies. We're always starting with a base plan cleanup, then we're doing a test fit, like a layout plan, a rough layout plan for in CAD, and then we move to the SketchUp model. And then we will do a SketchUp rendering. And in order to collaborate in the CDE, the common data environment of BIM, so that everyone like the designers like furnitures and walls and all these kind of things, and also the MEPF, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire safety elements is all being involved. And also the change structural models to be all involved in one common data environment like Autodesk Construction Cloud or Turbo Connect. We need to use this CDE collaboration, which shown on the right-hand side. So that's where the real collaboration happens, and it costs most of the time, supposedly, but in reality, it's not. And in recent years, there's a lot of people claim that they're doing BIM, but actual changes basically they're probably not using SketchUp that much, but they're just using Revit to model and trying to use Revit to rendering, which is a pain in the ass, to be frank. Um, but we have been focusing on the collaboration path since day one when I firstly founded the BIM and VDC team back in about like 10 years ago in Moser. So we see that we value the collaboration on the most, where everyone's model to be uploaded and joined together in a common data environment, so that we know where are the clashes, we know where are the problems, and we can visually use this as a visual platform to actually communicate clearly with all the engineers, the advisory people, and even the clients, that how we're going to resolve this problem. So I think this is the real beauty about how we actually work. So the enablement of the CDE collaborations is by simply collecting everyone's model in the current age. So we have the SketchUp, somebody's using Revit, somebody's using Tekla Structure, or even like Rhino or Blender. There are so many different kind of softwares. But in order to collaborate in a CDE, I mean a common CDE, not a really premium one, there is a middle gate in between. So the middle step is actually the IFC model. So all this name it is from SketchUp, or Revit, or Tekla, you all need to kind of like convert it into IFC model, which is a common format for all the so-called BIM models, right? Then you can collaborate them, you can make them, stitch together and trying to control the visibilities and to make it workable for collaboration purposes. So if let's say the conversion to make a normal any of the design models of all the different kind of like disciplines, whatever models, design models, right, into a proper classified BIM model, which is an IFC file. This will drive a dramatic change on the workflow because we don't really need a so-called a BIM team or a BIM outsource to literally trying to replicate the design from scratch, from SketchUp to Revit, just for the formality submissions purpose, right? And also the MEPF engineers, they can get rid of Revit as well because whatever models the fastest will be the only choices to go. Because I always believe that humanities is smart but also lazy. Whichever way is going to be working means that whichever model and software is the fastest, is the easiest that I can use to illustrate my design purpose. And I know that there is going to be an AI to convert that into a proper IFC model for serious conversations during the collaborations in the CDE, right? That would be it. So this thing is considerably small, but it will drive a dramatic change in the workflow, as I said. So the time saving is going to be for every iteration of the design in a long, long process. I mean, a long, long months, right, of the designing process. It can save a lot of time every single iteration. So this is why we're aiming at this, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about the challenge. So what's going to be the real challenge? The first thing is that we want the BIM's value proposition to be redefined globally, starting from right here with the BEAMP or the innovators. We wanted to train and fine tune an AI to complete the IFC 4, well, currently is 4.3 or 4.4, whatever. So we wanted to have this AI that able to recognize all these different objects in 3D or in whatever format visually to define its proper IFC class and also the predefined types. And certain things have like IFC door, it has operational types like single swing left, single swing right, that kind of thing. So, but we can brief you that later. And also we're aiming at least 95% of accuracy. And also for classification duration for each of the object, it required to be, well, less than 6 seconds. I'll tell you why later. And we're mainly aiming at, around this ASD stage, we're aiming at to develop and to ship an app or extension for batch processing componentry files. Like every firm, I believe that Wohua also has that because we also have that. I know that DPA, CPG, they all have that. We all have our own components libraries in-house that has been accumulated by hundreds and thousands of people around the globe, a centralized location where we have all this kind of fascinating componentry we have been used and built before, right? So this is the primary purpose that to make our in-house various libraries for Rhino, for SketchUp, for Revit, for ArchiCAD to be unified as an IFC warehouse. So everything, every source file will be properly classified and will become an IFC componentry, all right? Or ready to be anytime. And the second objective we're trying to achieve here is to develop an in-app real-time extension for SketchUp. But this part, I don't want to scare any of the innovators or solution providers because we have a full-fledged development capabilities around the SketchUp Ruby API and Trimble Connect API and so on and so forth. So just focus on the model, the AI model, that would do. So this is the first one. The second one is just probably for the second stage, for the next stage, which is the MD stage, right? So we wanted to we actually reimagined how we actually organize all these files, right? All these componentry. So likely it's going to be a BIM-ready digital asset library. That could be your product potentially. So it's AI curated, AI managed, and it's an organizational-wide digital asset library. The input can be whatever modeling software, any of the software. So it could be a web-based solution for our in-house or organizational-wide digital asset management with creation of project library and a collection of the client specific things. And also, there definitely have some web functions like bulk management for enterprise, where you can sell a lot of money for sure. And also the RBAC, the role-based account controls, like admins, like technical stuffs or support team or just average users, things like that. And also we need to have the project-based user management as well. All right, so that's the second part. And the third part, I think, is very, very vital for the usage in Singapore and to benefit most of the SMEs in Singapore. I mean, our competitors and the small and medium-sized enterprises in Singapore in the BE sector. So I name it Made in Singapore and Made for Singapore. There is a Code X thing going on. It has been mandatory this year, and it's going to be further mandatory in next year, right? So everyone has to prepare for that. The huge problem is that we're not familiar with all this kind of IFC classifications, like which thing should be going to which class, right? And this AI is meant to solve this problem. So that in order to get everyone ready for the Kona X, that industry mapping, so there will be extra focus we need you to look into. One is the BCA and the SCDF entries, where they name extra attributes like, let's say, for instance, fire rated, how many hours? Is it fire rated? Is it true or false? Things like that. And also because that Moser in Singapore, we're primarily working on workplace interiors. So those entries we definitely want to have a, detailed look or special take care. All right. And then that's also the second stage to map out to based on all this kind of like classification, the further attributes and metadata should be autofilled with AI as much as possible, But I know that there is something that have to be human in the loop, right? And also, unlike I think I need to be humble, so I let me just don't say this. So this challenge that we have actually explored for you already. So we don't want you to walk repetitively on the failures, and we want to pass. Well, I want to use this opportunity to share our own experiences. I mean, what we have is discovered so far, right? It was being awarded over the AI Hackathon in the Singapore Archifest a few months ago. So we did a V1, which is a very complicated but very comprehensive thing. It's a TensorFlow CNN plus the GPT-4 o3 with the reasoning, then 4 mini, and it just runs directly natively inside SketchUp. So as you can see on the right-hand side, there is a bunch of like different kinds of like components, right? So I just pasting the OpenAI API key, and it will just run automatically. And also it will classify all these things directly. So once it's done, this is the result. So different types of like objects, like the lights, it has been properly classified as IFC lighting fixtures. And if your eyesight is very, very good, you can have a look at the predefined type, which is point source, right? And also in the middle, there is a cabinet, which is IFC furniture, and the predefined type is file cabinet. So everything has been properly classified. But there was a problem with this V1. Number one is one of the metrics I've talked about before, which is per component. The processing takes about 18 to 20 seconds. And secondly, it's very, very costly because it's engaging like 4 different kinds of like agents to do that, right? So after that, before we literally appearing on this Archifest, and we actually did a few iterations as well. I'll show you later. So this is the whole workflow. If you're interested, you can ask me. I can pass you the original PDF of the handouts what we have been presented, so that you can have a detailed look on how we organize all this. So this is the version 1. And then the second iteration is that we know it's quite pricey, it's quite slow. We use the assistant API from OpenAI directly on the platform, and we build a few functionalities to it so that this assistant to do the job. It's quite similar, but this way we realize that the accuracy is slightly better. It's not that better. And also the cost is another, well, it's low, but consider how many componentries that we have, thousands and thousands and thousands. So it's not really sustainable on the cost side as well. And after that, we did the third iteration, which is using a fine tune, also with certain fine tune materials, right? Uh, the performance of this thing, even it's just a GPT-4o, it's, as you can see, there is IFC furniture pop up, and we're still waiting the latest and greatest GPT-5 to respond to it, and it's still not coming out. So the fine tune is the third version that we have tried, right? We have tried it. It's fast enough and it's cheap enough. I mean, cost effective enough. So this is might as well the future way to go with it. So these are all the current explorations from V1 to V3 that I want to share with you guys right here. And I want to tell you that as a CSO, I mean, I've been participating in a BM. This is my second year, so I'm not newbie here. As a CSO, I fully understand that it's more of a collaboration. It's not like we name out something that we want. It's not a bucket list right here. So we're gonna be partners. So I'm here to providing you this collaboration offer, which the pipeline, as you can see, we have been fully explore all the technical paths, and we'll definitely have the experience to guide you through. And also for the integration, for the SketchUp IO, I know that it's horrible for most of the developers. Don't worry. As long as your model have an API or the hosted platform has an API, you let us know. We have the full-fledged development capabilities in-house under my Gaia team. All right. And also we have extra offers. We have a playground, which definitely we have more than 40,000 historical design models. The NDA is already kind of like expired already, so we can play around with them. And also we have prepared, I mean, for the data set, normal training, there will be training set, the validation set and test set as well. So for validation and testing benchmark data set, we have 4,000 curated already. So all you need to do is just to, go outside and collect as many as of the training data sets that you can gather, all right? And thirdly, the expertise, we have the full-fledged, almost every discipline that you can think of in the B sector in this office. There's more than 100 people in our office, and we are all lovely families, I could say. So, and to be our partners, we have some primary questions for you as well. So number one question is how you will be organizing your datasets and classes to ensure it's flexible in being compatible for the future versions of IFC. Okay. And the second question is that we want you to propose the model and pipeline you will be used as a foundation, and why is the best choice in both financially and effectively. So as I said that for all because in Moser, we are not really considering about the finance side, but you're a startup, as a partner to be, will definitely help you to help you to think in advance about your financial situation. So you need to think in a way it could be commercialized and to scale up effectively. All right. So the OpenAI approach is something that we did, but the price we paid is not cheap anyway. So we want you to literally think about this scenario and how you use your knowledge and experiences to craft your own model and pipeline, right? And the third question is something that I really care as a designer. So how would you reimagine the next generation of the digital assets management platform will be, right? The UI and UX, we have a lot of people. I mean, if you come up with any UIs, we can help you to test it out because we have every discipline. They need some componentries. It will do the job, right? So everyone can be a tester as well. I believe everyone would be happy to be. All right. So, and I also want to talk about the opportunity because BIM is about commercialization of these great ideas, innovations, and literally we want you guys to be a Singapore startup and to be successful, right? So this is probably what Woha is paying right now. Moser is not really paying that much, but I believe Woha, because they are architecture firm, so they definitely pay this. They have this AutoCAD thing. Might as well will be fading away. Majority is using Revit. And there will be additional $660 for the Autodesk Docs, which previously was known as, they call it, Autodesk Content Catalog. Then before that, it was a standalone plugin. It's called Unified, which is literally managing all these digital assets. And now Autodesk doing some like marketing things and probably strategic way to manipulate the numbers. So it's now $660 per year, all right, for a single sit. So compared to that, it's very, very similar that your BM efforts with us, you're going to develop this part. And secondly, in Moser, we're widely using SketchUp as the major design tool. And well, it's to us, it's SketchUp is like it can do everything. So we do the drawings inside the SketchUp as well. I mean, whatever drawing it is, submission. We do the modeling, design modeling in it. We do the BIM modeling in it. So we do almost like everything inside SketchUp. So beyond that, I mean, Moser, this is a very special. We have a very special scenario and special ecosystem to do that. But for outside all these firms, your efforts can have. I mean, how you're gonna price in it? You're gonna be smart because this is how much extra we're paying today to buy the whole suite of Autodesk products just to do all this similar things, right? Um, and yeah, that's everything. I hope I'm not spending too much time. Today a little bit wordy. Sorry, probably it's raining. Um, any questions? So, and this is the last page. So I put the challenges above, and I put the capabilities that we're looking at below. Um, so hope that helps. So any questions?
Thank you, Jason, for a super comprehensive presentation. I've done more than 100 of these, I have to say. Anders, Jason, this is the room with the best looking slides ever. I think, thank you very much for that. And for the audience, I hope that was clear. There's a lot of information that Jason has presented. The challenge as outlined is quite an interesting one, and it's not by no means a walk in the park. But as you heard from Jason, lots of support can be given to you. And of course, if you want to retain a lot of this information, look out for the recording that we'll share. Any questions? Okay, Jason, we have a question from Vincent from NUS.
Yeah, I saw this. So I think there you don't need to read it out. I already read it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so hi Vincent. I know a lot of friends from US. Um, require both non-graphical information to classify the fine-grained beam elements. Uh, in a rule of thumb, yes, yes, Vincent, what you have been describing. So the AI will require both graphical, basically the 3D geometry via 3D geometry directly or via images, or non-graphical like semantic informations to classify the fine-grained BIM elements. So yes, this understanding is correct because for OpenBIM standard or IFC schema, they are always moving, right? So from the IFC 2x3 days until now, like IFC 4, 4.3, and the next generation is going to be supporting the USD format. So there will be a lot of changes on the attribute structures. So your understanding is correct. Yeah. Okay, so this is Tianyi. Oh, it says, what kind of objects are in Moser's validation datasets? Okay, so what we have, as you know, like as I said, that we're doing mostly workplace interiors. So we have the validation set is mostly about the interior elements like furnitures and walls and doors and well, not so we don't have things like giant gate automatic ones or like super complicated facades. We don't have those kind of things. But so the validation and testing sets that we have been organized mostly are furnitures, lighting fixtures, some of the MEPF outlets, and some of the ductworks as well, pipes as well, but not that many for the MEPF elements. So I would describe that the interior furnishing related elements is about 60%, and the MEPF related componentry is about 30%, and there is 10% of like other things like accessories or even some like granaries or plants or like laptops, certain devices. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Anything else? Open to another? Are you open to another technical approach to and models, or must follow your previous equation? No, it doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. Uh, we're actually engaging. We're appearing in the BEAMP is not because that we want somebody to uh like die to carry on with our legacies. Uh, I'm here just to share whatever we have been done so far. Uh, and because today I believe that you all are potential partners, just sincerely sharing whatever we have done before, so that I hope all these experiences can help you to kind of refine and to do something better than us. This is what I'm expecting. So it doesn't have to be like OpenAI services anyway. Yeah, but definitely we have some like good things about OpenAI because we're on enterprise plan with OpenAI, and we are probably their first Southeast Asia enterprise level client. So yes, there will be a lot of supports as well. Um, okay, so there are more. Let me just Stefana. Uh, Auto mapping of the IFC as yeah, attributes required for SD because it's hard to auto complete without human intervention. Um, okay, yeah. Stefano, this is a great one because first thing first, in ASD, we're not expecting the IFCSG, especially the SCDF part, to be directly generated by the AI. And you described exactly the reason why. Because it's not just hard, it's irresponsible to let AI to autocomplete such kind of information about SCDF required attributes like fire rated. So I think that this thing is, I just put it right here. As I said that on right now showing on screen is like to gain deeper understanding about that file, right? So we will be prioritizing our understanding, our co-understanding, share understanding about the SCDF entries. And how we're going to deal with that, we're going to discuss probably later. Okay, so now the current thing is let's just focus on the IFC and just about the model performance itself. So next one is tech KK. Given that the chess, given that IFC has its own limitations, will be a combination of IFC and native software information extraction to mold together can be considered. Absolutely, absolutely. So in our first version, the long workflow with 4 different steps that we do have. Let me just roll it back a little bit. So in our first version, just now I've shown is literally right here. So what we did literally is visual information plus the semantic information like definition names and layers and all been passing to a GPT-4o. So yes, um, we that's a very useful tips I could say, but it depends on how you're gonna use it. Like what kind of semantic information or text-based information you're going to use for this purpose. This part I'll let you guys to figure it out. But this is our own experience already, and I want you guys to build on top of whatever we have right here. So standing on our shoulders. Yeah. No, nothing need to apologize anyway. Yeah, it's all right. So, um, more questions? Any more questions? Or that will be today. You can always, yeah. You can always ask me anywhere.
So we
If
just
there is
passed
no,
an
yeah,
hour.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think,
So
yeah,
maybe we'll
mm,
wrap up. But
sure.
to everyone else, if more questions come up for either Jason or Anders, you can send us an email.
Hmm.
Um, maybe we'll just put on some reminders out there.
Hmm. Uh,
So yeah,
s-
I think E is
sure.
trying to pull out the slide with some certain reminders, but
Uh,
don't worry. So
sorry, sorry. Derek, there is one more. Like any opportunities on the engineering end, like structural. Uh, sorry, Chihao, I didn't understand your question. Is it for me or is it for the potential solution providers? Like, uh, is this you mean is this product is going to be useful for like Revit structure or Tekla structure or anything like structural or MEP elements. The similar things can be done for, I mean, absolutely can be done for literally structural and MEP. There are ways to do it. And we have tried that before. But it depends on how this solution provider can craft that into a more cost effective, I mean, affordable